This coverage is brought to you by JGL Groundworks Limited, civil engineers and infrastructure specialists.
And so to Donnybrook in Dublin for the club international between Ireland and Scotland. The Scots come into this one off a win at Caerphilly against Wales a couple of weeks ago. And at Megathlon last season, they came out on top in this fixture, but the Irish this time will be looking for revenge. But in the first few minutes, it was the Scots who looked the more dangerous. Mark Teague taking the ball into midfield. Penalty to the Scots, taken quickly by Angus Martin. Rory Cooper there in support. The ball whipped out again, and this time it was out to Damien Kelly, the big lock. Not Cronin Healy out the way, but it was John Ed O'Connor who took the big lock out right on the corner flag. The Scots kept up the pressure though, and this time it was Sean Crombie. He can play into midfield. Richard Snedden again with a quick one. Heading up towards the Irish 22. The Scots arriving in numbers. Snedden out to Andy Skeen. This time to Bruce McNeil, the Heriots prop, thundering in there. And penalty Scotland. Referee Tim Wigglesworth. Up stepped Watsonian Andy Skeen. Straight in front of the posts, no problem. Scotland on the board, 3 points to 0 after 7 minutes. The Irish always going to hit back very quickly. Again, it was O'Connor, the main man, setting up that one, and a lovely ball out there to Eric Maloney, and a beautiful wee pop pass up to wing Max Rance MacDonald, and the Clontarf wing in at the corner for the first try of the match. And it was this pass, that long pass, that took out the whole of the Scots defence. Maloney up to MacDonald. That was a beauty of a try. The Irish now with their tails up, giving the ball plenty of air out to Cronin Healy and taking on the Scots defence, and well, Rory Cooper doing his best to bring down two men, and finally the Scots defence arriving in numbers. But so were the Irish forwards right there. They won quick ball, Rory Cushion to Shane O'Connor, and number 8 Hugh Hogan driving that one in. But the Scots defence pretty solid. Rory Cushion looking for a wee gap round the fringe, nothing there. But the Scots getting a wee bit desperate and finally giving away the penalty, and up stepped Dolphins' Barry Keeshan to slot the penalty and stretch the Irish lead to 8 points to 3. The Scots came back. I tell you what, there wasn't much between these two packs. Big men having a real go at each other. It means so much to them, this international. It's a great opportunity for guys at club level to wear their country's colours, and look at that Irish drive. That one got the crowd on their feet. Bruce McNeil desperately trying to stop it there. Damien Kelly coming round the back. Ross Weston guarding the fringe, forcing Cushion into a kick for Cronin Healy, but a loose kick it was, taken by Rory Cooper. Run into midfield, and a great run there by Graham Thompson, and out to Mark Teague. Teague had a lot to do, but my goodness, he made it. Terrific try there, eluding the grasp of fullback David McKechnie. Well, it was started on one wing by Rory Cooper, taken on by the man in midfield, Graham Thompson, and just look at Mark Teague go. Two men on his tail, and he's still got there. That was a super try. Into the final minutes of the first half, and the Irish heading back again. Thumped through there by Damien Varley, the hooker, taken down by Richard Snedden. And the Scots again offending at the breakdown. Back he goes, and Mr. Wigglesworth. Up you come, says Barry Sheenan. And over it goes. Yeah, no problem with that one. 11 points to 8. And that took Ireland in 3 points ahead at the break.
This coverage is brought to you by JGL Groundworks Limited, civil engineers and infrastructure specialists.
Into the second half, and it was the Irish who had the early momentum. Eric Maloney taking it on there. Worked out to Cronin Healy in midfield. taken out by Tam McVie. The Scots protesting that the Irish are offending and unceremoniously trying to sort it out, but at the end of the day it was the Irish who got the penalty. Again, Barry Keesham, no problem slotting it over to take it at 14 points to 8, 5 minutes into the second half. And well, that pressure that the Irish were mounting was starting to take its toll. The Scots regularly on the back foot, and 4 minutes later another penalty from Keesham to stretch it to 17 points to 8 with half an hour to go. But the Scots were by no means out of it. Quick tap and take by Sean Crombie, followed up by Angus Martin, putting the Irish onto the back foot. Richard Snedden finding Stephen Riddick, and his pass to Mark Teague. Well, it let the winger skin his opposite number again. Inside ball to Dougie Brown, and well, he was held just short of the line in a fortuitous Irish boot, putting the ball into touch. But the Irish again hitting back, and it was Greg Stafford who put the Scots this time on the back foot. Thumping run there by Rob Sweeney, but the Scots again just a wee bit over enthusiastic in defence. Penalty again to the Irish, and again it was Barry Keesham looking for his 5th penalty, and he just got it in off the post. But Scottish coaches Ian Rankin and George Breckenridge just wondering if the game was starting to slip away from them. But the Scots had plenty left in the tank. Terrific break there by Dougie Brown, followed up by George Ooman, and well, the Irish were beginning to tire now, and the Scots asking serious questions. Rory Cooper out to Curry's, Ross Weston, the big number 8, thundering up to the 22 and winning a scrum for the Scots. Greg Cotterill on for Andy Skeen, telling his backs exactly what he's looking for, and that was what he was looking for. Something that would open up the Irish defence. And the Scots giving the ball a lot of air. Graham Dodds taking them on. And the Irish defence in just a wee bit of disarray, and the Scots keeping their concentration. And Ruddick again in the line, and oh, that one was oh so close. But the Irish managed to scramble it away. A try was bound to come, wasn't it? Well, Greg Cotterill took the wrong option there and ran into a wall of Irish defenders, but the Scots made it solid, took it forward. Ross Weston again there, in possession, making a vital few yards. And the ball first switched out to the right to Mark Teague, and then back inside to George Ooman. And just a touch of desperation about the Irish defence now. All the Scots had to do was keep their concentration and get some bodies out the road at the same time. Bruce McNeil thumping in there, laying the ball back for Richard Snedden. Out to Greg Cotterill, and Stephen Riddick in the line, and that wee jink inside was all it needed to pop the ball up for Graham Dodds, driven over by Pat MacArthur. Riddick converted, and that took the Scots right back into the game. And 2 minutes into injury time, well, they came oh so close. The pack driving on there, and then the ball out to the backs. The last play of the game, Graham Thompson's pass to Rory Cooper, and it's spilled with it lying at his mercy. Oh dear, oh dear. A chance for the Scots at least to draw level with a kick to come. But that was the final whistle, no further chances. It's been a pulsating match at Donnybrook. The final score, Ireland 20, Scotland 15. This is Ron Evans reporting for Scottish Rugby Television.
This coverage is brought to you by JGL Groundworks Limited, civil engineers and infrastructure specialists.